I thought today I might take you for a little look around my January garden. Now, I'm guilty of not doing anything in the garden during the winter, so I've not touched it since September time, so it's going to be horrendous. But I thought maybe you could give me some ideas on what I could start working on and what to do with it in the spring and summer. I've only got a small garden, but to be honest, it's the perfect size for me. And there's still plenty of room for little Lemon to play. There's an abundance of garden toys out here. But yes, over on this side, we've got this, which is getting quite overgrown. I need to cut that down. When I moved into the property 2 years ago, this was just a load of, branchy bits. The bottom bit there, basically. None of this was here. It's all grown. But apparently, before I moved in, that was so overgrown that it went all over next door's shed. And it was wild and crazy, so I do need to keep that under control. I will be trimming that right back quite soon, maybe February, all the way down to the bottom. This is a ornament I added from B&M last summer. It's actually a solar-powered light, and at night time it lights up. I love that. I love that sun, that celestial thing. That's an old bird feeder that's fallen down. A couple of really nice pots that I was given by somebody up the street. I like those. So any ideas of things that would do really well in sort of quite small containers would be great. And over here, I've got another plant that goes quite crazy in the summer. Obviously, there's no leaves on it now because it's the winter. I'll need to chop that down. I chopped it down quite a lot last year, but not enough because it was huge in the summer, so I want to chop it down quite a bit more, I think. I bought this lovely little table last year for the garden, actually, just from Amazon. It was on offer. It was about £13. Absolutely loved that, with the stained glass top and the hummingbird. So beautiful. And I put these 2 chairs here, and last summer sitting out here, with a cup of tea or spot of lunch was so nice. I had nasturtium hanging in that. I love growing nasturtium. It's so easy. Oh, it's even little tag even says there was nasturtium. Definitely be growing more of that this year. If I turn around here, you can see back towards the house and look at the state of the place. So, any ideas really? These drive me crazy. These grow, I can't think what they're called off the top of my head, but they're those quite prickly plants, and they have lovely, beautiful sort of purpley blue flowers on very quickly and take over the garden though. I would prefer it if they weren't there, to be honest. This table was here when I moved in, and I had great ideas to respray it and, sort of an interesting colour. But I haven't yet, clearly. This was a plant that my biggest Lemon bought for me for Christmas, not last year, but the one before. But I don't think it's doing very well now. Japonica, I think it's called. Is it too late to save that? Can I save it? It's lovely. These little flowery things are beautiful when they come out. Should I maybe plant that in the ground? Oh my goodness, this is springing to life. That looks like teteatete daffodils. Wow, okay, that's good. Something is thriving in the garden. Something smells down here. I'm guessing there's cat poo. Well, what I did last year as well was basically there was all an underlay on the garden. I don't know what it's called, that stuff that you put to stop the weeds coming up. And I pulled it all up and I literally covered the ground in grass seed. So I've grown all this grass myself. It wasn't here. There were stones. I got rid of the stones, pulled the underlay stuff up, whatever it's called, ground sheet, and I planted this grass. But I didn't quite finish. You can still see the black sort of undersheet there. I didn't finish this corner, so maybe that's one of the first jobs I need to do when the weather's slightly warmer. Old lawnmower, it needs to go. It's rubbish. I need a new one. The trouble with my house is there's nowhere to store things like lawnmowers. Then this is a big bush again in the summer that goes crazy. If I don't keep the top of that trimmed low enough, it cuts the sunlight out to my neighbour's garden. So do need to get on top of that. So again, I'll be chopping that down further than I did last year. And I bought this last year to sow seeds in and things like that. I like that. It's got a few toys stored in the bottom, but that's been very useful. Bag of compost in the bottom, some spare pots in the corner. And obviously there's a lot of toys of little Lemons here. Some of those can probably go now. He's a bit older this year. Not all of them. He'd love that trampoline still, I'm sure. I'm not quite sure why it's upside down, to be honest. Let's move that. I don't know why that was upside down. I got that free. In the street, that was free. That was free. The slide was free. Everything's free around here. People just put them outside their houses. Yeah, so it's just a small garden. But if anybody has any ideas of what might thrive in this garden, it's a north-facing garden. North-facing garden. So it doesn't get a huge amount of sunlight. So if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, I'd appreciate that, please. And then back towards the house, there's this little pathway, which is chock-a-block with crap. So we have an alleyway that goes through the gardens, bisected, I think they call it. So yeah, this bit needs to be kept clear, even though it doesn't look very clear. But people are allowed to walk through that. They don't very often, to be fair. So in here, I've got a rose, a little miniature rose, which continues to thrive, which I'm very happy about. I love this plant pot. I got that from, what was it called? I can't think what it's called. A garden centre in Thorpe St Andrew in Norwich. I love that. But that rose is doing very well in it. A little chroma sign has fallen over. You know when you go to the seaside and they have little souvenir shops and they have these sort of things in them, and you think, well, that's quite nice, but I've got no use for it, nowhere to put it. Well, I quite like adorning my plant pots with those sort of things. It just adds a little interest. And then I did have, oh God, they're waterlogged. Yeah, so I've got some nice pots hanging on this gate, but, you know, the plants are dead. Oh, some bulbs coming up here. I think I have a feeling they're muscari. It's nice to see the bulbs are all coming up again. I think I'll get some more bulbs, actually. Because I love the fact that you don't have to do anything and they just come back year after year. Another thing I got, that was from Chroma Pier. Little starfish. Again, I like to put little ornaments in my pots. These are spare dining chairs that actually need to go in a cupboard in the house. They shouldn't be out here. But at Christmas I needed the space and I just shoved them out here. There's my bird cage, which I asked thoughts about a while back. I put it out here for now. But I don't know if the weather's going to ruin it, to be fair. It's looking slightly rusty there. And this I found in the street really recently. And I thought this would be fantastic, valuable garden storage, even if it's just for toys. So yes, I like that. There's Daisy, my bicycle. And there's a really nice, comfortable garden chair, but the cushion is indoors because it's winter. But that's lovely. It's got like a bit where it comes up to rest your feet on. These are doing nicely. Is it cyclamen? I think they're called. Might be wrong there. But found that plant in the street a couple of years ago. And I just bunged it in this hanging planter, and it seems quite happy there. Should get some more of them as well. Oh, I love this. This was from the same garden centre as that pot that's got the rose in over there. I think it's called Thorpe Garden Centre now. But anyway, I love that. Absolutely love it. This was here when I moved in. This little cat wind chime. But I like that sort of thing. I've left it there. So yeah, that's my garden. Little window box here, but everything's dead. Not everything. A few bulbs springing to life. Cyclamen's still going. So, if it's called a cyclamen, of course. So yeah, any ideas for my garden would be fab, please. I don't have a lot of time for the garden. I'm a very busy girl. So plants that don't need too much care, plants that basically you can sow the seeds and they take care of themselves, or bulbs that will come back year after year. North-facing garden, doesn't get too much sun. Non-toxic, because there's a little boy running around. Yeah, if you've got any ideas, do let me know. I'd love to hear them. See you soon.